Hmm. Hello guys, si Kersan Velosa ulit ito at welcome sa episode 7 ng laro tayo ng Catherine, the Director's Cut. So, tuloy natin yung game natin. O nga pala guys, nung huling episode natin guys, kasi meron tayong nakuhang, dahil gumamit ako ng guide hindi ko mag-get kung saan nanggaling yung password nung username dito sa computer, pero pagkatapos ng record, pagkatapos ko ni-record yung episode, ni-reload ko ulit, tapos sinubukan ko ulit, tapos nakuha ko na kung saan nanggaling yung password. So teka, subukan ko ulit. Yung username madaling mag-gets kasi si Mendez lang yun yung parang kay Eileen, yung password niya Summers. Ay, yung username niya Summers. Grabe. Tundra BIOS. Ayan. Ito lang kasi kagad
Looks like I have to figure out the username some other way.
Ito lang yung nabasa ko nun, yung error yung kagad. Yung string corrupt yan. Ito pala yung password, tama. Otorgador, tama pala. So, doon pala nila na-code nung guide. Yung username lang ang wala. So, okay. Okay, buksan natin. Login. Si Mendez. Tapos password. Okay. Room not applicable, status not applicable, search. Bakit may extra W? Okay.
Gotcha.
Date of birth, August 14, 1924. Date of death not applicable. August 24, 1995. Referral from Dr. A. Friedman, St. Francis Medical Center, KC, Kentucky ba yun? Patient has undergone successful invasive heart surgery and was transferred to this facility at his own request. The initial prognosis looks good, and the patient is likely to make a full recovery in 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, so room 6B, stable siya, so okay. At least iwan natin na hindi natin mukhang untouched, pero sinerch na natin. So anyway, go.
It's all right, Claude.
Understood, sir.
So, you managed to find me.
I did.
Well, let's get this over with then. How do you want your pictures? Shall I get some tubes to fill my face with? Will that suffice for your front page?
I'm no journalist. Well, not yet anyway.
Ah, she's but a cub. So, you're hoping for your big break. Surely this must be worth an internship at one of the big papers. Do you want me to call Thompson at the Times and get it over with? I still play golf with him every once in a while.
That's not what this is about. It's personal. You're assuming a lot, Mr. Wade. I don't need to piggyback on favors. I make my own way. That's not this is about. That's not what this is about. It's personal.
That's not what this is about. It's personal.
Sounds serious. Perhaps I should ask Claude to produce his gun.
You know, Charles, the person most likely to be harmed by a gun tends to be its owner.
Very true. That's something the Japs who captured me learned the hard way.
Did my grandfather bail you out then too, or was that one of the few times where he didn't save your sorry ass?
Hold on there. Explain yourself.
You're willing to listen to something other than your own voice? I'm stunned. I'm Kathy Rain. Joseph was my grandfather.
Now I remember. You were at the funeral.
I was.
You were late.
I needed my morning smoke. Besides, it's not like Grandpa was going anywhere.
Oh, just look at her, Claude. She's absolutely fearless. That's Joseph's blood running through her veins.
She certainly has a smart mouth, sir.
I must say, you have me intrigued, Kathy. What can this old man help you with?
Okay, tanong natin lahat. Cocky.
Do you recognize the call sign Cocky?
Would be strange if I didn't, since I was the one who coined it. It belongs to a fellow named Jimmy Cochran. He was a coward, really. The nickname is somewhat of a bad joke.
Perfect. Thanks. Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather in 81?
I wish I did, Kathy. You must know I did everything in my power to help. How do you think Mary Elizabeth could afford all that expensive treatment? MRIs, neurologists, say what you will about Joseph. But he was never rich.
Strange. Grandma never mentioned that to me.
She's just too proud. At first she refused. She was convinced that I had an agenda, that there were strings attached.
And were there?
Don't be silly. Despite all that had happened, I still loved Joseph dearly. I wanted to help. People from places like this have a deeply rooted mistrust in the rich, passed on for generations. In her eyes, I had become one of them.
So that's all you know about the whole affair?
Are you implying that there's more to know? I left the diagnosis to the professionals. Mrs. Rain accepted the health care, but asked me to stay out of everything else. So I did.
I see. What can you tell me about your friendship with Grandpa?
Joseph was the best friend I ever had. We grew up together, married our high school sweethearts together, went to war together. I can't even begin to count the number of times he's saved my life. I repaid the favor once or twice, but he came up ahead, no doubt.
So, when did you two lose touch? I heard that something happened between you and him. What was it?
The truth is, Brian Rain happened. Sharon Evans happened.
My parents?
Yes, they ruined everything with their vile, destructive behavior. I couldn't have that around my daughter or my newborn grandson. Joseph was naive. He believed that anyone could be helped, that anyone could be reasoned with, given a chance. He was just too good, bless him. He should have been harder on Brian, more strict.
Agree with him about tough love. Tell him Grandpa is not to be blamed. Say nothing. agree with Top Love.
I wouldn't mind teaching my old man some manners myself, wherever he is.
Yes, of course. You must understand this better than anyone. People like your father simply cannot grasp how far their bad influence spreads. So our family started drifting apart. Eventually my company grew much too large for this little town, and we moved on. Not long after that, your grandfather ended up in that wheelchair. That marked the end of our friendship, for obvious reasons.
Okay, next. Tanong natin tungkol si Jimmy Cochran.
Tell me about Jimmy Cochran. Is he still alive?
In a literal sense, he's been held in a mental institution for years.
Let me guess. Since 81?
Either 82 or 83. I'm fairly certain it was early 83.
Do you remember the name of the institution?
Something starting with an E. Emerson, Everton, or similar.
Ingstrom? Ingstrom Psychiatric Hospital?
Yes, that's the one. You know the place, Kathy.
Tell him the truth about Mom. Make something up. Ito na, sige. Kailangan natin maging honest eh.
I do. My mother is in there. Sharon Evans? I had her committed about a year ago.
I see. It must have taken a lot of courage to do that, Kathy. Mothers have a lot of power over us. More than most of us care to admit.
I guess so. Do you know why Jimmy ended up in there?
Some obsessive-compulsive syndrome. He became fixated with circles and started hurting himself, trying to scratch the circles out of his head.
Creepy. I wonder what set him off. I think I'll check the place out tomorrow. Too late to head back to the city now.
Okay, next. Lily Myers.
You bought a number of paintings by Lily Myers. Why?
I'm known to dabble in art from time to time. Martha, my wife at the time, was enamored with the paintings. I believe she first saw them at the high school which the Myers girl attended. Anyway, after the poor girl killed herself, I bought the paintings speculatively. When a young artist with any talent to speak of commits suicide, it can be a wet dream of certain connoisseurs. Shortly after procuring the art, I had it valued by an expert who determined that the value was 3 times the amount I bought it for. Today, I'm sure I would have made my money back tenfold or more if it wasn't for the art theft.
What art theft?
There was a burglary at the mansion I used to own here in town. It was all over the local news at the time.
Well, shit.
Eloquently put.
Tanong natin art theft.
Can you tell me about the art theft?
Well, somebody broke in, stole the paintings, and got out. Fairly clumsy job. Lots of broken windows. The strangest thing was that I had a Monet, a Rembrandt, and 2 paintings by Picasso, untouched. But every single painting by an unknown local artist, gone.
That can't be a coincidence.
Agreed. Somebody wanted those paintings badly.
I assume there was an investigation.
Yes, Sheriff Truman came by with his deputy a few hours later, but they didn't have much luck. They found a few hairs, which turned out to be from Ruffles, the family dog.
Some stunning police work right there.
Indeed. There was a single witness, though, who said he could make out multiple burglars leaving the scene of the crime, but nothing more than that.
So, I take it the case was closed?
Yes. I honestly didn't care much one way or the other, given the fact that my most expensive pieces were safe and sound.
I think I'll have a chat with the sheriff about the matter, if that's okay with you.
Certainly. I'll call ahead and instruct him to give you everything you need.
That'd be great. Thanks, Charles.
Anytime. But I'm curious, what's your interest in the paintings?
I've learned that my grandfather went to Sue and asked to see them, right before he had his injury.
Is that so? Strange.
Next. Last one. Church of the Holy Trinity.
What can you tell me about the Church of the Holy Trinity?
They seem like any other church to me. But then again, I'm not their usual clientele. Weddings, baptisms, and funerals are just about what I can muster. And I always leave early.
Okay, so lang tayo pa dito ng trip-trip lang.
He's being cooperative at the moment. I shouldn't push my luck. Do you recognize this, Charles?
Of course. Your grandfather, me, Jimmy Cochran, taken shortly before we went to the war.
You guys look like you just won the lottery or something.
Indeed. We were mere children, with no concept of what we were getting into.
Small key.
Do you know what this key opens?
You must be truly desperate if you ask random people a question like that.
What do you see in this picture, Charles?
Fireflies would be my best guess. They can grow terribly large around these parts.
Okay, wala na.
Thanks, Charles. That's all I need for now.
You're welcome, Kathy. Come back anytime.
Just some boring landscape paintings. Just some boring landscape paintings.
Yun nga lang ba? Gramophone.
Looks like Wade brought some of his old tunes with him. That guy is huge. I wonder how many cows he eats per day.
Phone.
A private phone. Wade must get special privileges here.
Okay, wala na. Trip lang.
I am not suicidal, thanks. I don't need to show him that. I don't need to show him that.
Okay. Wala pa rin yung nurse. So, punta muna tayo sa sheriff's office. Wala pa rin na unlock dito. Sheriff's office.
Hey, Lenny.
Hello, Kathy. What's up?
Nah, I don't want to ask him about that.
Okay na.
Well, gotta go.
See ya.
Hello, Sheriff. Mind if I ask you a few more questions?
If you must.
Do you know anything about the art theft in the Wade estate?
Yes, Mr. Wade phoned ahead about that. Lenny!
Yes, boss.
Get the report from the burglary in the Wade estate back in '86?
On it, boss. There you go, Kathy.
Thanks, buddy.
Ito yung police report. March 11, 1986, 1:12 a.m. The alarm in the Wade estate is triggered. The house is empty at the time, and the neighbors contact law enforcement. March 11, 1986, 2:04 a.m. Officers arrived at the scene. Several broken windows can be observed. A sweep of the estate and surrounding premises reveal no trace of the perpetrators. Next day naman, March 12, 1986, 2:20 a.m. A single witness identified as Franklin Goldfarb. Yung name na yan, yung Goldfarb, ano yan eh. Pangalan niya ng isang voice actor pero hindi siya Franklin. Reports seeing multiple burglars leaving the scene of the crime. April 12, 1986, 12:15 p.m. Charles Wade arrived in Conwell Springs to make an official statement. After examining the house, he reports that paintings with an excess value of $15,000 have been stolen.
It's my mother's birthday this weekend. You'll have to get her.
April 26, 1986, 2 p.m. The art in question has not yet popped up in any circles that are known to deal with stolen goods, terminating investigation due to lack of leads.
Okay, boss.
I gotta find this Goldfarb guy. Maybe he knows more about the burglary.
Tanong natin sa kanya.
Hey, Lenny.
Hello, Kathy. What's up?
Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Sounds familiar, but I can't place him.
Well, gotta go.
See ya.
Tanong natin dito sa sheriff.
Hello, Sheriff. Mind if I ask you a few more questions?
If you must.
Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Never heard of him. Anything else?
Ayan na.
That's all for now.
Good.
I don't have a reason to go in there right now.
Okay, never mind. Subukan natin dun lang tayo sa bahay ni Lola.
McConnell Air Force Base, how can I help you?
Hi. I was just wondering if you had time to answer a few questions.
Sure thing, ma'am. Ask away.
Do you know anything about a pilot named Jimmy Cochran? He was assigned to your base during World War II. Maybe even longer?
Hold on, let me check. Yes, Jimmy Cochran, fighter pilot born 1922, tour of duty in Japan from 41 to 42, honorably discharged for health reasons. Spent some time as a civilian pilot elsewhere in the U.S. until he returned to the flight academy here in the capacity of a teacher. Mr. Cochran was the major proponent of opening up the academy to civilian students. He continued teaching at this base until a sudden resignation in 1983 for unspecified reasons.
All right, thanks. I don't see a reason to ask him about that.
Okay.
All right, that's all.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Tanong naman natin sa Lola mismo. Ay, teka. There's a Wade residence. Tanong natin, kasapin natin si ano. Si Erica.
You've reached Erica Wade. Leave a message after the beep.
Ay, wala na siya. Ito natin sa Lola.
Oh, hello, dear. Glad to see you again so soon.
Hi, Grandma. I just thought I'd drop by.
Sure, hon. Stay as long as you'd like.
Naka-on yung TV.
There are a few things I need to ask you, Grandma.
Very well, dear.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is? He was a friend of Grandpa's.
I believe he teaches at the flight school these days.
I don't think so, at least not anymore. I was told he was placed in a mental facility.
Really? He always struck me as a kind man. Maybe a bit nervous and on edge, but not crazy.
There's more. I found out that Jimmy asked Grandpa for help not long before Grandpa ended up in that wheelchair. Jimmy sounded really desperate. I'm sure what happened to Grandpa that night had something to do with his cry for help.
You should go find the man then. Surely he must know something.
That's the plan. I just wondered if there's anything else you think I should know about him.
Not really. We haven't stayed in touch since Joseph was injured. I know that he had a wife, Agatha, and a son, James. Agatha passed away from cancer years ago, but as far as I know, James still lives in the city with his family.
Okay, thanks, Grandma. I don't see a reason to ask her about that. Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Oh, that poor man. He used to be an upstanding citizen, you know. Now he's constantly drinking and keeps babbling on about that imaginary acting career
Is he
of
Goober?
his.
Sad thing. Do you know where I can find him?
He's homeless, dear. Lost his job a few years ago and never really got back on his feet.
Okay, now I know who you're talking about. Thanks, Grandma. Looks like I'm gonna have to have a chat with Goober. See you later, Grams.
Take care, dear.
Okay, alam na natin kung sino yan. Balik nga tayo kay Wade. Siguraduhin lang natin na siya ngayon. Andito na yung nurse.
I need a word, Miss Mendez.
Wait, how do you know my name?
It's written on that board behind you, genius.
You have the eyesight of a bald eagle or something?
What can I say? I'm a freak of nature. What happened to Goober, anyway?
Who?
The guy who had the seizure?
Oh, he ran off somewhere. Kept babbling about a religious near-death experience.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so alam natin kung nasa siya malamang. Nandun siya sa
Rows
church.
and columns of files. Probably easier to use the computer if I need to do some digging.
Tanong natin kung alam niya rin si
I have some more
Goober.
questions, Charles.
I'm listening.
tanong natin.
Do you know who Franklin Goldfarb is?
I'm not familiar with that name.
Okay, yun lang.
Thanks, Charles. That's all I need for now.
You're welcome, Kathy. Come back anytime.
Okay, doon naman tayo sa dalawang natitirang locations. Doon tayo sa ano? Doon muna tayo sa nature reserve. Huli natin yung church. Teka, alam ko may achievement doon eh. Teka. Dali lang guys, check ko lang. Buksan ko lang ulit yung page. Dali lang. Bakit yung nangyari doon? Dali lang guys, hindi ko makita. May masamang interaction yung game sa mouse ko eh. Dali lang. Ben, makita yun. Okay, dali lang. Bigyan nawala yung mouse eh. Dali, hanapin natin. Dali lang. Ay. Natin, hinahanap ko lang yun. Dali lang. Ito. Okay. Dali lang guys. Binabasa ko lang dali kung paano nga. Okay. Pasensya lang guys kung medyo nagtagal ako doon. Binasa ko lang kasi sandaling guide eh. Okay, so punta muna tayo sa nature reserve. By exit. Ayun. Punta naman na tayo doon sa nature reserve. Ihuli natin yung church. Ito nga yung ano kung saan kinuha yung picture.
Well, this is it. This is where the picture was taken. I'm not sure what I expected to find here. I need to clear my head. What the?
Why, hello there! You have laid eyes on this dapper fellow once before, haven't you?
Yung sa panaginip niya. Nope, just no. I'd remember a creepy bald dude with makeup. I doubt it. You look like you just escaped from a circus. That's not really my kind of gig. I don't think so, Mr. Clean. Unless seeing your face on a bottle of detergent counts. Nope, just no. Ito na lang.
I doubt it. You look like you just escaped from a circus. That's not really my kind of gig.
Yet you always play the part of the clown, Kathy.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
It is my calling to know people like you, those shackled by their past, yet yearning for change.
I feel strange. Am I dreaming?
It's the mending. I will try to facilitate.
You're not real. I'm lying asleep in my bed right now.
Focus, Kathy. Listen to the drowned girl.
You mean Lily? What about her?
She's the one who slipped away, filled with secrets. While she may be free in death, her cold, wet hands still trap many in painful ignorance.
What is this, Woodstock Poetry Slam? Mind speaking like a normal person?
I knew you wouldn't disappoint. I'm glad, given how much trouble I went through to be here. You see, my name was taken from me, so I claimed a color in its stead. The next time we meet, you'll know the exact hue of red. You're on the right path, Kathy. Follow your grandfather, and everything will work out in the end.
Wait, what? How did I get here? Am I going crazy? Am I turning into Mom?
Okay, teka. Check ko lang nila. Okay, balik tayo doon. Kailangan natin bumalik doon. May items doon eh. So, yun yung red man na sinasabi ni Nathan.
Hello?
Wala na siya.
Creepy bald guy. Guess no one's home.
Yung red scythe.
Looks like a specimen of the red scythe. It's endangered. I'm not gonna take it without a really good reason. That wasn't here before.
Ano yun? Drawing ni ano? Drawing ni Nathan. Red man.
A bald man dressed in red. Oh, creepy.
Drawing ni Nathan.
Hey, is this shovel taken? Good enough for me.
Ano pa ba? Exit na lang, okay. So, yun lang yun. So, para makakuha natin yung achievement, balik tayo dito sa cemetery. Okay, dali lang.
Handy little shovel. I can dig it.
Ito yun eh. Isa sa mga achievement to eh. So,
Handy little shovel. I can dig it. I'm just gonna let Grandpa rest in peace instead.
ayun. Grave digger. So, check na natin. 20 out of 40. So, kalahati na lang. So, puntahan na natin yung church. Yun ang huling location eh. Dali lang. Ayan. Ito, may dalawang magkasunod doon sa church. May dalawang magkasunod na achievement doon. So, gawin natin. Last location na, tapos may dalawang achievement pa dito.
Hello, Father.
Greetings, my child. I'm glad you decided to come here.
Yeah, but just so you know, I'm not here to join your church or anything.
Oh, I would never assume that.
Good. So, with that out of the way, I have some questions.
Anything you need. I'm Isaac Price.
Kathy. Kathy Rain, but I'm guessing you figured that out already.
I did. Rumors spread quickly around here. So how can I be of service?
Price. So, siya may-ari nung nung crypt.
Do you know who Franklin Goldfarb is?
I'm afraid not, my child.
Ayun na yun, nandun lang, nakaupo siya sa harap eh. Hindi mo kilala.
Care to tell me the history of the church?
I'd be happy to. The story is a fascinating one. This church was founded by my father, William T. Price, in the 70s. Back then, he made his living as a traveling salesman and was driving through this area as he had done so many times before. However, this day was different. My father held dark thoughts in his mind. He was angry, thinking of evil deeds, even considering swerving off the road into a rock and ending it all. Then suddenly, divine intervention. 3 bright lights appeared. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Talaga lang, ha?
The sign of God. This epiphany was the moment my father had been waiting for. He sold all of his belongings and took me and my brother to live with him here in Conwell Springs. Soon thereafter, he built this church and started gathering followers. They began to refer to him as Father Bill.
I take it that window up there resembles what he saw when he had this epiphany?
Indeed, the stained glass window depicts the Holy Trinity as witnessed by my father.
Do you know exactly when or where this event took place?
Why do you ask?
Oh, just curious. It's a captivating story.
Well, it was the spring of 1971, but my father never told anyone where.
Okay, so what happened then?
People flocked to Father Bill. He started teaching, writing scripture. The church flourished and continued to grow all the way up until his sudden death in
Timer na pala eh.
1983. That's when I stepped in to take leadership of the church.
I take it that the church started declining after the death of Father Bill?
Yes, naturally so. With such a magnetic personality, he was irreplaceable. But I assure you, the church is still very much thriving.
Looks kinda empty to me.
It's not really our peak hours.
What's up with you handing out pamphlets at funerals then? Trying to reel people in at a weak moment?
I'm going to assume you meant no disrespect, child. I'm simply providing divine guidance when it's needed the most.
Okay. Wag na muna natin tanong yan.
I think I need to ask him about a few more things before I go.
Okay. Ayaw mo umalis, sige, fine.
Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather in 81?
It was the work of the devil, I'll say that much. Joseph was a kind man. He did not deserve such a fate. You heard my speech at the funeral, Kathy. I meant every word. He was a great man who did much good for this community.
Did you know him personally?
In a way, he and my father did charity work together. Joseph was around a lot when I was young. They collaborated on a few different projects for the homeless and for the troubled youth, among other things.
So my grandfather was a member of the church?
I wouldn't say that, no. He was a friend of the church, but he wasn't a religious man. He believed only in philanthropy. That being said, Joseph was the person who convinced me to become a priest.
Really?
Oh, yes. I was a teenager back then. Full of rebellion, every fiber of my being wanting to distance myself from my father. Joseph made me realize my sinful pride and showed me how I should follow my heart, regardless of what others might think. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Tanong pa natin to.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
I don't recognize that name, no.
Okay, Lily Myers.
Does the name Lily Myers mean anything to you?
It does. Before I was ordained, I was a substitute teacher in her high school.
Really? Did you know her personally?
We weren't close. I only knew her as much as a teacher would know any student.
Alright, so how did she seem toward the end?
For one, she started skipping school, a lot. And when she did show up, she was absent-minded and moody. She always looked depressed and hunched down like she had the whole world on her shoulders.
Any idea of what caused this change?
Not a clue. All I know is, when she returned from that last summer break, she was a whole different person.
Okay.
Do you know anything about an art theft at the Wade estate in the 80s?
I have just a vague memory of reading about it in the paper.
Okay, so wala na. Trip lang.
I don't need to show him that. I sincerely doubt it will come to that. I don't need to show him that.
Okay, so quit na.
That's
Kunin-
all I need for now, Father.
May the Lord shine his light on you.
Kunin natin yung isa sa mga achievements. Teka, saan ba? Ito. Ito isa.
Huh, even I wouldn't stoop that low.
Okay, nakuha natin isa. Tapos may nakuha pa tayo, ano? May nakuha tayong yung dito, yung bike optimization, bike customizations. So, ayun. So, kausapin naman natin si Goober para doon sa huli.
Hello again, Goober.
You again? Are you stalking me, girl? You pop up everywhere I go. I'll try to tone down the charm, but I can't promise anything.
Huh, yeah, you're quite the charmer.
I know. I just said that, man.
Listen, I feel kind of bad about the electrocution.
Oh, that's what it was. What a cherry on top of my stellar performance.
Yeah, it was pretty convincing.
So what brings you to the house of God? Come to repent?
I'm afraid that ship has long since sailed, buddy. I had a few things I wanted to ask you about, though.
Shoot, Missy!
Nah, that God old fast. Yep, I totally went there.
Ayun, achievement ulit. Yan, nakuha natin yung pangalawa dito. Repeat performance. Tapos may nakuha pa tayong customization. So,
Okay, that's all for now.
mamaya next episode next episode na lang natin siya kausapin. Teka. Check ko yung achievements. Okay. 24 na kaagad. Kailangan na natin ng 16. So, teka. Save na natin dito. Isa pa. Okay. Tapos quit to main menu na. End na natin yung episode. Okay guys, Kershan Vilasa signing off. Next episode ulit.